Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. With Presnel Kimpembe's injury, Paris Saint-Germain are still looking for a centre-back to sign in this summer. Of course, Milan Skriniar will be joining the Paris Saint-Germain squad, but Luis Campos is still on the lookout for another centre-back. And in today's video, I'm going to go through every single centre-back, rank them from who I want and who I don't want. First player is Kim Min-jae, 26-year-old with a market value of 50 million, of course, playing at Napoli, South Korean centre-back. And here are a look at his stats. Great stats: passes attempted, progressive passes, progressive carries, duels won, tackles, interceptions, clearances, aerials won, and blocks. For me, these were the most important stats when you actually look at a centre-back. And Kim Min-jae actually has a 52.53 million release clause. So if Paris Saint-Germain want to sign Kim Min-jae, it's all about triggering that release clause that is available in his contract. Next player is Torres from Villarreal, also 26-year-old with a market value of 45 million on Transfermarkt, Spanish centre-back. And here are his stats again: passes attempted, progressive passes, progressive carries, duels won, tackles, interceptions, clearances, aerials won, and blocks. And Pau Torres would cost around the 40 million mark to Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, his contract ends in 2024, and he was rumored that if I think Liverpool or Spurs wanted him, and the asking price was around 42 million, and this was in January, so I believe a price around 37 to 40 million would be the price to get him out of Villarreal, maybe even 35. Next player is Jean-Claire Todibo, French centre-back at OGC Nice, 3 years younger than the two previous centre-backs we mentioned, 23 years of age, and with a market value of 30 million. And these are again his stats: passes attempted, progressive passes, progressive carries, duels won, tackles, interception, clearances, aerials won, and blocks. And he would cost around 45 to 55 million euros from OGC Nice. Of course, he has a long contract there until 2027, and with him being younger, of course, it will be easier for Nice to get a bigger price, unlike the other two candidates. Next up, Ivan Ndika. Same age as Todibo, 23 years of age, with a market value of 32 million. It's Frankfurt centre-back, French as well, a left-footed centre-back as well. These are his stats again: passes attempted, progressive passes, progressive carries, duels won, tackles, interception, clearances, aerials won, and blocks. And he would actually be free to Paris Saint-Germain with his contract ending this summer. So that would be very cheeky from Luis Campos. And the last player is Gonaclo Inacio, the youngest centre-back on this list, age 21 years of age, Portuguese centre-back playing his stint at Sporting Lisbon, and has started getting minutes in the Portuguese national team under Martinez, with a market value of around 25 million. He's also left-footed centre-back, and these are his stats: pass attempted, progressive passes, progressive carries, duels won, tackles, interception, clearances, aerials won, and blocks. And he would cost 40 million, with him having a release clause, 40 million in his contract. Of course, Sporting Lisbon want to offer him a contract extension that moves that release clause up to a 70 million price tag, but at the moment it's only 40 million, which I would say is a bargain for a player like him. And these are the players I compared all of those stats. So if you can see in the top left corner, the players that were first in the stat have a green, second in the stat blue, third in the stat yellow, fourth in the stat orange, and fifth in the stat red. And as you can see, Ndika 3 reds, Pau Torres 4 reds, Inacio 2 reds in clearances and blocks. But we can clearly see Inacio is the best at passes attempted, best at progressive passes, best at progressive carries, and best at interceptions. Ndika is best at blocks, Todibo is best at tackles, Pau Torres is best at clearances, and Kim Min-jae is best at duels won, aerials won, and blocks. But Kim Min-jae is the only centre-back that does not have a red in all of his stats, which means that he is the best option when it comes to stats, because stats don't tell you the entire story. Plus, all of these players play for different teams and have different roles and different positions. But by the stats, we can clearly see that some names are better than the others. Of course, I would say Kim Min-jae, Todibo, and Inacio all pop out. Inacio, even though he has 2 stats in the red, he has 4 green stats, and Todibo, of course, not a single red one as well. But Pau Torres and Indica, not looking great. And here are my candidates. Number 5, it's Pau Torres. Of course, I would not want to sign him. Even you look at stats, not the best. You look at age, not the best. 26 years of age. And then would cost around 40 million euros. He just isn't a Paris Saint-Germain defender. We've never signed a player similarly to him. A player that doesn't win duels, can't win physical battles, can't do anything defending wise. He's pretty much just a guy on the ball. His heading isn't that great. He's just average. He's just average, and he would just be another squad rotation instead of someone that can actually compete with the starters. So Pau Torres is my 5th choice out of these center backs. Number 4 is Indica. Even though he's on a free, I heard that his game versus Napoli, he got really cooked in that game. And Indica, what can I say? 23 years of age, a free deal. So if Paris Saint-Germain really can't sign anyone because of economical resources, I think we could go for Indica. But Indica, again, he's even worse than Kimpembe probably. And he's not a player that's going to compete. And he's not a player that's going to really do something big at this club. So he's my 4th choice. Number 3 is Todibo. Of course, he would be a little bit expensive, but he's a great player, has immense Liga and experience, great player, great physical player, great carrier of the ball, can win headers, can win duels, everything. So Todibo is my 3rd choice. He's a really great center back, and he's actually one I would buy. I don't think I would want to buy Indica or Torres. Number 2, it was a hard choice between Inacio and Kim Min-jae. Of course, Inacio being 5 years younger and having a lot of top stats and when it comes to progressive carries and progressive passes, but he has to be my 2nd choice. Inacio, great player, and with that 40 million release clause as well, that's a bargain. That's a bargain for a player like Inacio. Of course, we were linked with him with that release clause last season as well, but we did not make it happen. So Inacio, this summer, let's make it happen, Luis Campos. But ahead of him, of course, it has to be Kim Min-jae. He also has a release clause around 52 million euros. So 12 million more than Inacio and 5 years older, but Kim Min-jae is clearly the best center-back on this list. The most experienced and the best center-back. He will have a crazy output and crazy volume at this club, and would definitely be an incredible player to Paris Saint-Germain. He will probably come in as the best centre-back in the club and actually give hard competitions to every single centre-back at this club, and that's exactly what we need. We need Marquinhos to get a wake-up call, we need Ramos to even fight even more, we need Danilo to feel a bit pressured, and we need Skriniar to feel that this is the time to play good football. So for me, it's an easy choice. It's Kim Min-jae, but I would also look at the Gonaclo Inacio link. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your top 5 with these players? My first player is Kim Min-jae, second player Gonaclo Inacio, third player Jean-Claire Todibo, fourth player Ivan Indica, and fifth player Pau Torres. Let's hope Luis Campos can sign at least one of these guys, because according to reports, Paris Saint-Germain are the outlook for another centre-back, mostly because of the Kimpembe injury. So, if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, subscribe to the PSGINT YouTube channel, and as always, allez Paris!